Tomorrow is primary election day in Ohio. First News senior reporter Gerry Ricciutti talked with the man who oversees voting across the state about what you can expect at the polls.
We're joined today by Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, who's at, as you can see, his command center for the state election system in Columbus. Mr. Secretary, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate your time. Tell me what, if anything, voters can expect that might be new heading into the primary election tomorrow across the state.
Well, really, there won't be anything new. It'll be what voters are accustomed to. You show your ID, you cast your ballot, you walk out with your I voted sticker. It's going to be a very convenient experience for you. And we're anticipating virtually no lines or any kind of crowding at polling locations. So really no reason to skip out on this opportunity to make your voice heard. Around 2% of our fellow Ohioans have already voted through early and absentee voting. So it's too late to do that. Early voting is over. If you're an absentee voter that requested a ballot but haven't sent it in yet, today, Monday, is the deadline to have it postmarked, or you can return it in person to your Board of Elections before 7:30 tomorrow. You cannot take your absentee ballot to your polling location. And again, if you want to make sure you've got the right polling location, just go to our website, photoohio.gov. Again, bring that government-issued photo ID and bring a smile to thank those hardworking election officials, really tens of thousands of our fellow Ohioans that are helping run Election Day once again for our voters throughout the state.
Now, every time you turn on the network news at night, we hear about issues with real ID. Is that going to impact in any way what happens tomorrow?
No, none whatsoever. In fact, the real ID is a good thing to have. I got mine over a decade ago. You need it to board an aircraft or enter federal facilities. It's a smart thing to get, but that doesn't have any impact on voting. Any current state ID, as long as, again, it's one of those acceptable forms of ID, state ID or driver's license, a military ID, a passport, etc. Those will be fine as long as they're current, and that's what you'll need when you go to vote tomorrow.
One thing we keep hearing locally, and you mentioned 2% have voted early absentee voting, but Mahoning and Trumbull counties, and I'm guessing Columbiana County as well, they're expecting very light turnout. Some communities, the only thing they have on the ballot is state issue 2. Are you concerned that this is such an off-year election, off-year primary, that turnout's really going to be very light and that could end up figuring into who wins and who loses tomorrow?
Well, Jerry, every election is determined by those who bother to show up. And of course, voting is both a right and a responsibility. It does take you taking that initiative to make sure that your voice is heard. You're right to say not just in the Mahoning Valley, but really all throughout Ohio, we're anticipating a low turnout. What's interesting is contrast that with what we've seen in those even numbered years, 2020, 2022, 2024 were all record breaking years. You get into these even numbered years, or those odd numbered years, rather, like 2025, when we're voting on local contests, or in this case, a statewide issue, we do tend to see that lower turnout. But that's, again, just another reason why every vote makes a difference. These local elections tend to come down to really small numbers, and there's no reason not to maybe take 15 minutes on your way to work or on your way home from work during your lunch break, get in and make sure that your voice is heard.
And once again, polls open tomorrow 6:30 across the state, closed tomorrow evening at 7:30. And as you said, people still having their absentees can get them to their boards of elections in time before the polls open tomorrow. Secretary, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Jerry.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lindsay Watson. Thanks for watching the WKBN 27 First News YouTube channel. If you want more video news, subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the WKBN 27 First News app for breaking news alerts.